maybe borrowing from some of the things you said in the description to support whatever interpretive points that you are trying to make. And what I say here could be about 3 paragraphs or so. It could be longer. It's sort of up to you how you want to do that. Then the E bit, which is evaluation. And here, what you're trying to do is to really summarize the possible consequences of the tour in light of your interpretation of what you think's going on. What messages does the tour communicate? And so here, I mean, evaluation is evaluation. Is it good stuff? Is it bad stuff? Is it dangerous? Whatever. What are the consequences for the tourists? It has to be speculative unless you actually go out and interview some folks, but you don't necessarily have to do this. But what would be the consequence if you make that argument or that interpretation that it celebrates wealth and the wealthy past, and that implicitly sort of naturalizes and makes okay the slavery? What are the consequences of that? Does that mean that everything's just always contextual? We should give folks who owned slaves back in the day sort of like, oh, well, it's just, they didn't know any better. That's just the way it was. Yeah, that's crap. If there were no abolitionists whatsoever, I mean, jeez. Grimke sisters were kicked out of Charleston because they were actually intelligent. In any case, so what are the consequences? And I'm particularly interested in issues of power and who becomes empowered or disempowered, who is further oppressed or liberated. Maybe you find in the Gullah Tours or something like that it's actually a liberatory type of message. It's just up to you. But I'm particularly interested in the big picture stuff here when it comes to issues of power, and when it comes to issues of things like racism, sexism, and all the isms out there. Classism, ageism, paperism. Okay, computerism, scrolling downism. The last bit of the analysis, the T in our diet. Delicious iced tea from Hardee's. Product placement, double voiced. Go and get a delicious drink at Hardee's and then go see Man of Steel. I heard the movie sucked. There's Russell Crowe staring at me. Hey Russell, what's up, man? Mate, what's up, mate? Good day, mate. By the way, I should avoid Hardee's because of this horrible commercials. I think I've told lots of classes that I go in there and I talk to my Hardee's peeps. I go there every day to get an iced tea. I used to go get Diet Coke, but I'm trying to get away from Diet Coke because the what's that stuff? The terrible sort of chemicals that they put in there. I forget what they're called. But in any case, I don't know if you've seen that one commercial. It's basically like soft lesbian porn, really. They have like these 2 women, one's doing one thing, the other one's doing, and then they're cooking stuff, and then their burgers merge, and then they sort of. And so I actually went in once and asked if I could order the lesbian porn burger, and they all laughed in a critiquing way. They know that the commercials are ridiculously sexist and horrible. But hell, they can't help it. I mean, they just need a job. They're just working hard at Hardee's. The T. This is where you theorize, and then the theorization part is just the larger critical theme, tying everything back to the larger theoretical themes. And so here you tie it back to the introduction, the beginning of your paper. And so what has your little case study analysis, how can you tie that back to issues of rhetoric, place, and memory, and some of the things that Dickinson, Blair, and Haught say in the introduction. Now, the very last labeled section, and it should again be labeled, in the centered left, don't care. The conclusion or conclusions, whatever you want to write. I have here 4 ending paragraphs. The first will showcase how you help the reader better understand the tour you studied. And you can write explicitly. I think my paper has allowed us to better understand Charleston carriage rides because. The second will showcase how you have helped the reader better understand the context, and that is, remember, one of the things that the authors say in the introduction is that thinking about issues of public memory, when we go to heritage sites or we go to State House and we contemplate things, it's meant in part to help us ponder and figure out how to act in light of present-day problems. What does that tour, how does it invite you to act or to behave or to consider present-day problems, perhaps when it comes to the economy, when it comes to racism, when it comes to privilege? I don't know. But that's what I want you to ponder, and that's the second paragraph of the conclusion. The third paragraph of the conclusion is really, how have you helped us better understand rhetoric generally? Tie it back. Why is it important to study this type of stuff from a rhetorical point of view? And that's when it goes back to, these things are influential, right? They are like speeches. They are making arguments out of intention or not that influence us to see the world in particular ways. And sometimes that's bad. So that's what I'm wanting you to do there. Now, I just noticed that I didn't put the last one on there. A fourth paragraph should be what's left to do. How would you, if you were continuing this study, or if you wanted to do other studies to contribute to your own study, what would you do? So it's like future studies. In the future, I would like to take multiple carriage rides using multiple companies to see if how the narratives change or whatever. Or maybe you'd want to take carriage rides at other places that offer carriage rides. I think maybe Savannah has to. I can't remember. To compare and contrast what they have done. Or maybe you want to juxtapose a carriage ride with a study of Fort Sumter, or juxtapose carriage ride with the 2-hour Gullah bus tour. I don't know, but whatever the future studies might be. And then finally, after that, your works cited page in MLA, and you can go to Writing in the Disciplines page on the website, on our Columbia College website. Go to the tab that says Documenting Sources, and it'll tell you exactly how to do that stuff in MLA. It is easy as MLA. That's it. Pretty clear to me. If you're confused, please let me know, and I will try to help. Take care. And go, ooh. There's Finn again. He's helping. Oh, you can't see him. Hello, Finn. You're helping, aren't you? Yes. Finnegan's helping. Go Tigers.